first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Everyone, welcome to Fox 12 Now here on this Friday. We are live streaming on our website, on our apps, on YouTube and Facebook. And of course, we do that every weekday starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, covering a wide range of topics on this show. So thanks for joining us here today. Right now, though, we're talking about something that's going to be happening a little bit north of us, but still here in the Northwest. And I'm talking about a museum exhibit for Twin Peaks. Yes, if you are a fan of Twin Peaks, you've probably maybe already seen this, or you're going to be very excited about hearing about this. If you're not a huge Twin Peaks fan, you probably know somebody who is. The series from the 90s was set here in the Northwest, filmed in the Northwest, and it's got a huge cult following, and that's what we're talking about today, this museum exhibit that's going to be at the Snoqualmie Valley Museum. And to talk all about this, we have Cristy Lake joining us. And Cristy, thank you very much for being here with us today. You know, I have to admit, you know, I am somewhat of a fan. I've seen the series, but I have friends who are just crazy about it. And I mean that in the best way, crazy. So I want to get into that, to talk about that. But before we do, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and the museum?
Yeah, thank you for having me on today, Greg. I'm Cristy Lake. I am the director at the Snoqualmie Valley Historical Museum, and we've been a museum since 1939. We cover the history of the Snoqualmie Valley, so most famous, of course, Snoqualmie Falls, but we cover from Snoqualmie Pass all the way down to Carnation and Duval. We're a small historical society, and we routinely, every year or two, have new changing exhibits. And we're really excited to open this new Twin Peaks exhibit in time for the Real Twin Peaks Festival that's starting next weekend. And it's also coinciding with our new 1950s exhibit opening.
Nice. So a combo of the both. And just to give everybody just a geographical reference, so can you just where is Snoqualmie, you know, north there?
Oh, of course. Snoqualmie is 30 miles directly east of Seattle. We're right at the foothills of the Cascade Mountains along I-90. The Snoqualmie Valley Museum is located in North Bend, so we're just across the South Fork River from the outlet mall that most people are familiar with in North Bend, quite near the first North Bend I-90 exit.
Nice. And that area has, you know, number one, it's absolutely beautiful in the Northwest there. But it's also been an area where a lot of television and movies have been filmed before, just because, I guess, because of that geography that's up there. Is that right?
That is so very true. Twin Peaks, of course, has been one of the more famous ones. But there's been a lot of different ones. There's one with John Belushi that was also filmed up here in the 80s up at the old Cedar Falls Depot. I believe it's called Continental Divide. Johnny Depp's been out here filming some shots. We had Viggo Mortensen out for Captain Fantastic, and he shot scenes at Smokey Joe's in downtown Snoqualmie. There's been dozens of films. And it's just as a scenic and iconic location with such a rich history.
Absolutely. And speaking to the Twin Peaks side of things, so filmed up there in and around Snoqualmie, and talk to us about, you know, what was the inspiration behind having this as part of an actual exhibit in the museum?
Yeah, so it's been something the board's been talking about for a long time, because the Twin Peaks phenomena, it really created a cult TV series and has drawn, for what is this now, almost 30 years, fans from all around the world. And that's really become a part of the history of the Snoqualmie Valley. And so our exhibit explores two different elements of that history, both the actual history of the filming locations, because Twin Peaks used real historic sites but put their own spin on them, so telling the history of the actual locations that it was filmed at. A lot of Twin Peaks fans really do appreciate not just Twin Peaks history, but actual history as well. And so allowing those fans to learn more about the location they love, the filming location of their favorite TV show, but then also exploring the impact of the Twin Peaks phenomena on the valley. It came at a time that the lumber industry was declining. That had been the major economic driver in the Snoqualmie Valley for 100 years. And right as it was filmed, our economy collapsed, and it provided this new um, driver and brought in a lot of new people to the community and helped support the community when it was struggling. And so, looking at some of the fun early memorabilia that was produced. And then a third component of the exhibit is we have a lot of Twin Peaks fans that have loved the show so much that they visited and decided they love the community so much that they've moved out here. And a lot of those fans also have some of the props from the original TV series and the more recent season 3. And they've really jumped on board with us appreciating the thing they appreciate and are loaning magnificent artifacts to put on display as well. So we're being loaned the original chair from the famous Red Room scene. We've been lent part of the jail prop from the pilot episode. In season 3, there's apparently a famous scene where they throw a cup of coffee through a window in the trailer park, and we've been loaned that original window as well. And we're just really excited to be able to share with both fans coming in from all over the world this coming weekend and the community that importance of the Twin Peaks.
And I think that's really neat that it's actual community members who have props from Twin Peaks that are loaning some of them to you, to the museum, for that exhibit.
Most definitely. And it's been a great experience. Lots of different Twin Peaks fans reaching out and saying, hey, I have this and I'd like to share it with you. And I should also mention this part is a part of a wider Twin Peaks festival that's happening next weekend. And many of the different community groups in Snoqualmie and North Bend are participating. Our sister organization, the Northwest Railway Museum, on next Sunday is going to be doing a Peak to Peak Express, which is a train ride / wine train that they still have about 29 tickets available for. So if you're still wanting to participate in some of the Twin Peaks Festival events, there's still openings as well. And we're going to be running the exhibit for at least a month. Hopefully it'll go through the end of the fall. We're still figuring out with different donors how long they're willing to loan their items. And I'd encourage everybody to come check out the Snoqualmie Valley Museum. We're an older organization, but we're in a period of growth. And so we're excited to share new stories and bring in new audiences.
That's amazing. You know, something else that I think is pretty incredible too is there are certain places where maybe an iconic movie scene was filmed or a series was filmed, and sometimes those communities don't necessarily embrace having a ton of people showing up and celebrating something like that. But it seems like up there that this is something that you do embrace. So what is it about that Twin Peaks community that keeps you excited about having them come back?
I think they're all really supportive and passionate and want that authentic experience. Even though Twin Peaks is a fantasy story, it has elements in it that call to certain life experiences that everyone can share, and they bring that authenticity to the community. But they also really do genuinely care about what rural Washington is like and want to be able to experience the positives of that, as well as explore some of the darker themes that sometimes happen in communities that have experienced hardship.
Yeah, I think, wow, that really does encompass a lot, you know, with that and bringing that into it. And for you personally, have you seen the series? Are you a fan of the series?
I have seen the series. I am not a hardcore fan, but I appreciate it. I was in elementary school living here in the Valley when it was formed, so I have some memories of the original filming. and um, because I was a child, I wasn't allowed to watch it early on. But now, as an adult, I've gone back specifically because I want to see what my community was like in film when I was a child. Because your memories aren't always quite the same as what the reality of uh, seeing the images are. Um,
Right. I mean, because in addition to being the series, it really is, at least visually a documentary of the area at the time and
exactly.
what it was like. So that's really great too. Now you mentioned people from all over the world. So is this pretty consistent year round that you have people gathering, coming here to the Northwest to come see the Twin Peaks area,
Yeah.
even the filming locations?
I've been working at Snoqualmie Valley Museum since 2006, and every single year we have visitors coming in, a lot during the summer when people normally take vacations, but then they've also had the festival annually since it came out. And it definitely has a worldwide draw. It's really common to have visitors from Japan and Europe specifically coming in. And I've noticed more recently in the last 5 years, probably since season 3 has come out, that it's had more of a following with um, 20 to 40-year-olds coming in, which I think that's great to see that new wave of renewed interest.
It's something that no matter what the age group is that discovers it or finds it, it seems like once you're in, you're in. Like you're a fan for life of Twin Peaks, and I think that's so great that you're welcoming everybody in and you have these pieces. Quick question just about the exhibit. So you mentioned that you have local people sharing their memorabilia and different things that they have from there. Have you spoken, at all to any of the creators of Twin Peaks or anything along those lines?
I have not personally, but I believe the Twin Peaks Festival Committee is, and our board president, Beth, who's really been helping drive part of the exhibit, is part of that committee. I think she has been involved in talking with some of those folks. And they do have the FBI agent star, Kyle McLaughlin, coming out for the festival. And he's going to be specifically at a meet and greet at the Salish Lodge. I think that's maybe sold out now. And I think there's a chance he's attending a couple of the other um, activities that weekend. And his winery is sponsoring the wine for the Peak to Peak Express as well.
Nice. That's awesome. And I love that he's still embracing it too and excited to be there and still come up and visit that area and just embrace that with the fans. And Cristy, I want to say thank you very much for joining me too to talk about this and just
Oh, my
share
pleasure.
your side of it. Yeah, and just knowing about the community and just how much the community embraces that the Twin Peaks community. I think that's just a really cool symbiotic relationship there.
Well, thank you again for letting me share what we're doing. We're really excited to have this exhibit opening.
And where can I send people to get more information?
Oh, yeah. Our website is snoqualmievalleymuseum.org. And we're located at 320 Bendigo Boulevard in North Bend. And we're now open 6 days a week. So we're open Thursdays through Tuesdays, 1 to 5, which is very exciting for us because normally we've been closed in the winter and we're not only open now, we're open 6 days a week. And the exhibit will formally open next Friday.
All right. I already know some people who are making the drive up. So
Wonderful. I look forward
yeah.
to seeing everyone there.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. All right. And just continuing with the show here to tell everybody, if you're watching live, thank you for joining us. This is Fox 12 Now. We live stream here starting every weekday at 1 p.m. Pacific. We cover a wide range of topics on this show. And I always love to hear your feedback as well. So if you have a topic that you think that we should be covering, send me an email, fox12now, fox12now@kptv.com. Send that in to me and we'll talk. We'll see if we can either cover something that you think needs to be covered. Maybe we can bring in a reporter and do a deeper dive on a story that you're already familiar with, but you want more information on. Lots of opportunities here to do that. So thank you for joining us. I will be over on the website and the apps here shortly with more content over there. So good time to download that Fox 12 Oregon app. Also, don't forget, we do have the Fox 12 Weather Podcast video edition coming up. And if there's breaking news, I'll be here for that too. So there's more coming. So thanks for joining us. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.